Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. Now for today's episode, I am going to be talking about the situation between Mr. Ibu's wife and his adopted daughter, Jasmine. Now, anybody that knows this family or if you've been following Mr. Ibu's crisis online, you will know that himself and his wife, they have been at loggerheads. The wife has made several videos or ran to Gistlover accusing Mr. Ibu of not taking care of him and all that. Mr. Ibu, on the other hand, he has also made videos accusing the wife of being money hungry even before this current medical situation. Now, we thought that previously when they had those problems that they resolved the issue, because the wife was accusing Jasmine, as in Mr. Ibu, of dating Jasmine. messy situation. But they came out, they made up online, and there was a video that was released. We thought that, the Mr. Ibu's family, everything is now okay and they're living together until this current health challenges that Mr. Ibu is currently going through. When he was in the hospital asking for donations, we saw videos of Mr. Ibu's wife feeding him, shaving him, taking care of him, and the usual thing that a husband and wife does. And everybody thought they are coming together now that he is not feeling fine to help him out. I think when people started noticing cracks was when Mr. Ibu's wife made a video saying that AGN had abandoned them. They've not given her any financial assistance. Now, Ketenshaw actually came out online and said Jasmine should confirm that, they have been supporting Mr. Ibu. Now, we're just thinking, okay, let's just... And from the video, she was just talking about, self-entitled, you're supposed to do this for me, you're supposed to do that for me, and all that. I made a video then actually analyzing that video that she released online, and I talked about how this woman is just money hungry. She's just like, you have children and you're just sitting down, you're not doing anything, you're just waiting for people to be giving you money, you're waiting for your husband that is sick to be still taking care of the responsibility of the kids. I had to edit out all those things. I just thought this family, they are going through a lot right now. There's no need for me to to include all these things, talking about the wife. Let me just allow them. Let's talk about his current health challenges, and people should just help. So I had to cut out all those things. But ladies and gentlemen, we're just sitting there minding our business, thinking, okay, they've cut off Mr. Ibu's leg. He is recovering from the several surgeries that he's had, and hopefully the second leg will not be cut off, because they were talking about flying him abroad for more medical treatment. So we're just praying for Mr. Ibu. And then Gistlover released a chat between Jasmine's friend and Jasmine, between herself and Jasmine, telling Gistlover that Jasmine is going through a lot. Mr. Ibu's wife is fighting tooth and nail for access of monies that have been donated for Mr. Ibu's health. According to that story, she wanted to buy a car because, according to her, it will help her to transport, move herself from home, like to visit Mr. Ibu in the hospital. It will help her to visit her husband in the hospital. So when she said, when those chats were released, people were like, you are very insensitive. They started talking about, your husband is online seeking financial support to assist him. One of his legs has been cut off. He's going to need medical assistance for the rest of his life. He's going to need rehabilitation because of his age. That comes with a lot of challenges. He may not be able to walk again. So your problem is car through and fro from hospital, like 15 million. She was actually requesting for 15 million to buy a car. So Mrs. Ibu did not like the way that the whole conversation was going. So she released her own statement saying that, that was supposed to be a private conversation that was not supposed to have been released, that Jasmine there was no audio. I don't think I've heard the audio, but according to her, Jasmine recorded that conversation and released it online. She said that it was herself and her brother, they were just saying that, oh, she will need a car. She will need a car to transport her from home to ease her transport to the hospital. Like, people could read in between the insensitivity in her tone, the entitlement. And according to her, Jasmine is a stranger. Her brother has been with her, living in her house since 2013, talking about 10 years. And I was like, your brother living with you, he's jobless, you're jobless. You all are relying on Mr. Ibu, who is currently sick and seeking medical attention. The best thing that your brother can advise you to do right now is to leave hospital first of all and go and get a job so that you can take care of your kids. What if this Mr. Ibu, God forbid, dies? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? She's busy saying, no, her brother has been there. Jasmine has not been there. She wants access to the money. She just wants transparency. She just wants this. More revelations came out. They said that Mrs. Ibu, they've not been in talking terms for months now. And Mr. Ibu actually left the house and was sleeping on a couch in a friend's house. So it was not like the family was okay, they were not in good terms, but because of the situation, Jasmine begged Mr. Ibu to allow Mrs. Ibu to, just for optics. So she came to the hospital. I think that was when she was feeding her husband and all those kind of things. But now she's feeling like, I am the wife. I should have access to the money. I should have this. I should have that. They even said she wanted money to do anyash. They said she wanted money to do bomb. She wanted BBL. In fact, they said that somebody came to visit Mr. Ibu and wanted to donate money. But because Jasmine was not there, she said she needed some money. She gave her own account number. The money was 1 million was paid into her account. She refused to bring that money. She said she had bills to pay. The next day, she came with a fake bomb. She came with a fake bonbon. She said that she's still young, she need money to maintain her lifestyle. She need money to do this, and like the insensitivity. And according to people, she sold the cars, Mr. Ibu car. That was why she was asking for money to buy cars. She has already sold off this man's car. She was even planning to sell the house they were living in because she said she needed money. And I'm just looking at this whole thing. I said, even if she sell this house now and they give you the money, because you're not working, in the next 2-3 years, you're still going to come online and start begging. Hey, Mr. Ibu's kids, they are not in school. They are not this, they are not that. I look at this whole thing and I'm like, marry right to, because I see a lot of people who say, I want to be the breadwinner. I want to marry somebody that is not working. I want to marry somebody that I can provide for. I don't want to marry a career woman. I don't want to marry a woman. If I marry somebody that has a career now, how are we going to do the family? If I marry somebody now that is any more than me, she's going to kneel me down, or she's going to disrespect me. She's not going to be submissive. She's not going to do this. She's not going to do that. And then you marry somebody. I mean, marry somebody who doesn't have a job at that time, there's no problem with that. But marrying the mentality of somebody who says, I need to be provided for, I need to be taken care of, I need my man to do everything for me. I will tell my friends, family, brothers, sisters, the danger there is the mentality. Because if you look at Mr. Ibu's wife now, the mentality is, my husband should provide for me. I want to live a certain standard. Or when you married me, this was my expectation. And I expect you in sickness or in health to be able to provide that standard for me. That is the dangers. According to her, she said when she got married to Mr. Ibu said she should not work. She should just sit down and take care of the kids. I can understand at that point he was making money. But right now, you're looking at your husband. Your husband is in his sick bed, begging for money online to be able to take care of his medical bills and aftercare. He's going to require aftercare for the rest of his life. And all you could think about is boom boom. All you could think about is 50 million car. All you could think about is maintaining your life, that you're still a baby girl. Go and get a job. I was with a few friends and we're talking about, what do women bring to the table? I know this conversation has been going on a very long time, but when you hear what do women bring to the table, you have two different group of people. You have the ones that said they want, like a woman will say, I'm bringing my VJJ to the table. But even if you're bringing that to the table, can you take care of yourself? Because at the end of the day, it is, if you marry somebody that has not ever taken the responsibility of catering for themselves, not to talk of extending that to maybe the children, to maybe the family, to maybe you as a husband in case anything happens, there is a danger there. Now, that does not mean you cannot marry somebody who is just fresh out of school, who is not working. It is the mentality. It is the mentality. I have cousins, I have brothers, I have nephews that I will tell, listen, you want to get married. The first thing I will ask you is, what is she doing? It's not about what money she will bring to the table, but it's just about responsibility. If you see somebody who is above 25 and they are not working and they are not doing anything, that person, it's a mentality something. It's all about mentality. Even if you're 25 and you're still in school and you're telling me you're a student, you're not doing anything, it's a mentality thing. It's not about the job. It's about the mentality. And then you now marry that person thinking, okay, I have money now, I can take care of you, you don't have to do anything. You're not thinking about the future. What if they cut off your leg? What if they cut off your hand? What if you lose your job? What if you fall sick? Can that person wake up in the morning, go out there, get a job to cater for the family? Or will that person just be like, oh, hey, when I married you, this was not what I expected. I expected you to take care of everything, just the way that Mr. Ibu's wife is doing. He took care of her. Not just her, because according to her, the younger brother has been in that house since 2013 for over 10 years now. And he has not gotten a job. According to her, he helps her with things in the house. And herself, she's not working. This is the mentality. This is the enabling environment that we all support and breathe. Because you're going to say, oh, I cannot marry somebody who is a career woman. Oh, no, and she's going to, I'm going out, she's going out. No, that's not going to work. Have you thought about the future? One day you're not going to be there. How are your kids going to be taken care of? One day you're going to lose your job. What is going to happen to the responsibilities in your family? Is your wife going to happily wake up, dust whatever CV or dust her behind and go out there to get a job? Will she do it? Or will she be like, go and beg, ask your friends, ask your family, ask this one, bring money, I am just here to take care of the children? Is that the mentality that you want? There are so many Mr. Ibu or Mrs. Ibu out there. And there are younger people who are still going to fall into that category or fall into that situation. I am not saying don't marry, you must marry for money. In fact, I am saying marry for money. Marry for money, marry for money. But as you're marrying for money, make sure that you yourself, you may not have money, but you have it's a mindset thing. It's a mindset thing. Because some people will tell you, oh, I cannot do a 5,000 job. How much is 5,000? 5,000 is not going to do me anything. And they will sit down and not work. But you see somebody else will go out there and work for 3,000. Knowing that, okay, I am earning 3,000 today, there's a possibility that tomorrow is going to be 5,000. There's a possibility that, okay, I am just doing this today. Tomorrow, somebody can tell me, oh, you're earning this amount of money, I'll pay you this amount of money. You put yourself out there. But you see those ones that will be like, no, my mom must take care of me. Oh. My brother, if my brother choose to go and marry that kind of person, that is his business. I will just sit down and be looking. I will sit down because definitely I will say something before that. I will definitely say something. But you choose, you and your Mr. Ibu and Mrs. Ibu will be dealing with that situation. I will not, in fact, I will not lose sleep. I will not lose sleep. Let us learn from things. Don't go and marry Mrs. Ibu. Don't go and marry Mrs. Ibu. Regardless of how much you're making, make sure that your wife is out there doing one or two things. Like doing something. You don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know if you're going to lose a limb. You don't know if you're going to lose your job. You don't know if something. Life. And it's an example that you'll be setting for the next generation. When people hear generational curse, they will think it is one old woman cooking something, turning everything and putting people's name in that pot. No, it is what your kids see that they are going to emulate. And if Mrs. Ibu and Mr. Ibu, these are the example they are setting for their children, it is going to pass on to the next generation and the next generation until somebody break that cycle. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle that keeps the poor and the rich getting richer. Like I said, we can only learn from these things. We are looking at that generation and we're thinking, oh, this is far off. Mr. Ibu, Mrs. Ibu is this. But a lot of Mrs. Ibu are sitting down, keyboard warriors criticizing her, but they are in the same situation. They don't get it because the husband right now is providing everything and he hasn't registered that they are in the same situation. He hasn't registered. Anyway, we can only advise people. We cannot force people to do anything. You have a choice. You have the right to do whatever you want to do. All you can do is come out online and cry and beg. Those that can help you will help you. Those that cannot help you will pray for you. I wish you all the best because there are kids involved in this whole mess, and it's very sick, legend, and we're praying for his quick recovery. But at the end of the day, learn from these things. It's about the lessons. Learn. Anyway, today's episode is once again sponsored by DDBT's Wigs. This is a 12-inch bulb and I am loving it. It's giving me life. We sell wholesale and retail. So let us know if you want something like this. We'll get you sorted. Thank you very much. Please like and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.